If you have kids, you've probably heard of Prime. This is the new drink brand launched by YouTube star Logan Paul and boxer KSI. And the drink has gone pretty much viral and it is sold out almost everywhere. But is it safe? Stay tuned because as a mom of 3 and a registered dietitian, I am sharing everything you need to know about this new drink brand and what it means for the health and safety of its users. Hi, I'm Erin with Healthy Mom, Happy Family, and as a mom of 3 and a registered dietitian, I am getting asked about Prime drinks every single day. So I thought it would be best just to give you an in-depth review of the drinks and the health and safety, especially when it comes to your kids, so you know if it's something that you should be allowing them to drink. Now, before we dive in, I just want to remind you that if you are looking for ways to naturally improve blood sugar levels and want tips and tricks for living with insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes, please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. And if you're looking to learn everything you were never told about managing blood sugar levels and insulin resistance, then I would love for you to check out my signature program, The Blood Sugar Fix, where I walk you through everything you need to know and exactly what you need to do to lower your blood sugar, increase your energy, and achieve your healthiest self in just 6 weeks in the easiest way possible. I have all the details linked below. Okay, so let's dive in because as a registered dietitian and a mom to 3 big fans of Prime, I wanted to share with you everything you need to know about this new drink brand because I know you have questions and I know your kids are asking for it. So here's what you need to know. So first, let's talk about what Prime drink really is. So Prime drink has 2 categories. There's the hydration drink and there is the energy drink. Now, Prime Hydration is the brand's take on a sports drink, where Prime Energy is their line of energy drinks. So you want to know the difference because the difference matters when it comes to health and safety, especially for kids. So Prime Hydration is a hydration beverage. It comes right now in about 8 unique flavors and they seem to be adding more all the time. And it's actually the official sports drink of the UFC. Now, the sports drink claims to really fill this void between great taste and function, and it provides electrolytes, branched chain amino acids, and it has no added sugar. Now, Prime Hydration is caffeine free, and this is a big difference between Prime Hydration and Prime Energy because Prime Energy has a significant source of caffeine, it has about 200 milligrams per serving. So you want to know the difference. I know the first time my kids asked for Prime and my husband grabbed some when he found it at the store, he opened it and we had the energy version, and I definitely don't want my kids to have that much caffeine. So you definitely want to know the difference. The screw off top is the hydration drink, the pop top can is the energy drink, and it will say that on the label as well. So let's talk about if Prime Hydration drinks are really a better alternative to other sports drinks on the market. Because one of the claims of Prime Hydration is that it is filling in this void in the sports drink category. So they're claiming that it's combining function and taste. And honestly, I have to admit, I did sample the flavors, and for what I sampled, they really do taste great. But is it actually a better for you hydration drink? So let's take a deeper look. Now, when you look at the front label on the Prime Hydration, it says that it's naturally flavored with no artificial colors. Now, this is where I want you to pay attention because when you look at the actual ingredients on the back panel, this isn't entirely accurate. One of the reasons is that it does have sucralose as a sweetener. Now, I have nothing against sucralose, but it's not considered a natural sweetener. Whereas if you look at the front of the label where it says it's all natural, this might be confusion. And if you are someone who is avoiding sucralose or don't want your kids to have sucralose, this might be a concern for you. Now, sucralose, just to kind of give you an idea what it is made from real sugar, but it goes through a chemical process to make it 600 times sweeter than sugar. And that's what makes it essentially calorie-free because you need so little of it to get that same sweet taste as sugar. Now, there's not really anything wrong with consuming a sports drink sweetened with sucralose, but I did find that most people I talked with, and especially parents I spoke with who were drinking Prime or their kids were drinking Prime, they were really surprised that sucralose was listed when it had stated it was naturally sweetened and highlighted that on the product packaging. So this is why I always stress you have to read not just the front of the packaging where the marketing is, but turn it over, look at that ingredient list. That's critical to know what's truly in the product. Now, to be fair to Prime Hydration, the remainder of the ingredients listed on the hydration drink would be considered natural. They're using fruit and vegetable juices for coloring, which I really like because a lot of sports drinks use artificial colors. So this is a nice alternative, especially if you're trying to limit that. However, you want to think about they're not necessarily listing exactly what fruits and vegetables are being used. And so if you do have a child or an adult who has an allergy to a fruit or vegetable, you want to really know exactly what's going into these products and into each flavor. And the best way to do that would be to call the company directly and ask what fruits and vegetables are being used. And that way you know exactly if there is a risk from an allergy standpoint. So let's look at the hydration benefits. So Prime Hydration states it contains 834 milligrams of electrolytes, 250 milligrams of branched chain amino acids, and B vitamins, as well as antioxidants. Now, the ingredients listed on the product showcase exactly which B vitamins and antioxidants are included, so you have that specific breakdown and you know exactly what you're consuming. Now, what I really do like about Prime Hydration is that it is low in sugar. A lot of sports drinks contain a high amount of sugar. Now, for endurance athletes who need those quick carbohydrates, that's beneficial. But a lot of times, especially with children, they're just drinking these for the flavor and they don't really need the added sugar. One serving, which is a full bottle, 16.5 ounce bottle, it only has 25 calories and 2 grams of sugar, and there's no added sugar. The sugar in Prime Hydration really is coming from the coconut water, which is used to create the drink and is also a source of electrolytes. So no added sugar, just 2 grams coming mostly from the coconut water. Now, one thing that's unique about Prime Hydration, and this is really probably the reason the brand is stating that it has great taste and function, is because it's combining electrolytes with branched chain amino acids. So you're getting the hydration benefit as well as the benefit of recovery after exercise. Generally, when you look at sports drinks, they focus on one or the other. You either have the hydration or you have the recovery and muscle building, but not a combination of both. So this drink does offer both benefits. And so if you are an athlete looking to hydrate and to recover, it could be a good option for you. All right, so now let's look at Prime Energy, and is this actually a better alternative to energy drinks? So when we look at the ingredients and the claims of Prime Energy, and we look at how it stacks up to competitors in the energy drink category, there's a few things I really want you to focus on. So first, Prime Energy states that it contains 0 sugar, 200 milligrams of caffeine, and 300 milligrams of electrolytes, along with being vegan and naturally flavored. Now, Prime drink is incredibly popular with the kids, and to be fair to the brand, they do state clearly on the website and on the energy drink label that Prime Energy is not intended for children under the age of 18 or for pregnant or nursing women. So it is clearly stated. That does not mean our children are not trying to drink it, but it does state that on the website and on the product. But for parents, it is really important we know the difference and we read the labels. This much caffeine in an energy drink is not safe for children. The hydration drink would be fine, but you want to make sure that you're not accidentally purchasing the energy drink like I did, so your kids aren't getting an unsafe level of caffeine. Now, Prime Energy contains electrolytes, it has B vitamins, and that does give it a bit of a leg up against other energy drinks in the market because many energy drinks are just sugar and caffeine. With many energy drinks, you'll see that the grams of sugar are pretty high. With Prime, there is 0 grams of sugar, 0 grams of carbohydrate, and there's only 10 calories. So if you are looking for a low calorie, low sugar drink, this is an alternative to some of those higher sugar energy drinks on the market. Now, this does not mean that it will have no impact on blood sugar levels, because for some people, caffeine can actually increase blood sugar levels. It can cause blood sugar to spike. So you have to make sure you know your own individual response to caffeine. If you have diabetes or insulin resistance, it's really important to monitor your blood sugar before and after consuming this amount of caffeine and see how you respond. The other thing to remember is caffeine has a half-life of 6 to 8 hours. So that means if you consume 200 milligrams of caffeine now, 6 to 8 hours from now, half of it or 100 milligrams is still in your system. So if you are going to drink this drink, I would highly recommend to have it earlier in the day and not within about 8 hours of bedtime, or it can have an impact on allowing you to fall asleep and stay asleep. All right, so let's talk about if Prime is actually sugar-free. So if you look at both varieties of Prime, the Prime Hydration and Prime Energy, neither one contains added sugar. Now, Prime Hydration does have 2 grams of sugar, and this most likely comes from the coconut water that makes up 10% of the product. So it's no added sugar, and it's mostly natural sugars coming from coconut water. The energy drink, on the other hand, has 0 grams of sugar and 0 carbohydrate. But do remember that both Prime drinks are sweetened with sucralose, which is an artificial sweetener. Sucralose is generally recognized as safe by the FDA. However, some people do choose to limit or avoid it. So do just be aware that this is a sweetener in the product. Now, if you're wondering if Prime drinks are safe for your blood sugar, these drinks have few carbohydrate and no added sugar. But depending on which you choose, they can still have an impact on blood sugar. With Prime Hydration, you're getting 6 grams of carbohydrate in the drink. Now, most of that is coming from the coconut water. 6 grams of carbohydrate by itself has little impact on blood sugar, but it's all portion dependent. So if you're having multiple Prime drinks in one sitting, this could raise blood sugar. And you also just want to be aware that that's extra carbohydrate being added to any other carbohydrate you're consuming at your meal or snack. So if you are counting your carbohydrates, just be aware that there's 6 grams in the hydration drink. When you look at Prime Energy, there's 0 carbs and 0 added sugars, but that caffeine content may spike blood sugar in some individuals. So really pay attention to your own individual response. If you look at the studies have shown that with people who have diabetes, caffeine consumption can increase blood glucose levels and even further impair insulin sensitivity, which can increase insulin resistance. Now, for some, they can safely tolerate up to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day, but for some people, they can tolerate very little. So this is why it's so important to test your blood sugar levels and frequently monitor your response to caffeine to see if this is something that your body responds to in a positive or negative way. Okay, so now the big question, which is probably why you tuned in, is are Prime drinks safe for kids? And the answer to this question really comes down to which Prime drink you're choosing. So Prime Energy, no, it's not meant for children under the age of 18 because of the high caffeine content. And the brand does clearly state that on the product as well as the website. Now, Prime Hydration is a different story. Now look, I'm a mom of 3. I'm also a registered dietitian. I do appreciate that there's no artificial colors in this sports beverage. I do appreciate that it doesn't have large amounts of added sugar. But on the other side, some parents might be hesitant to provide a sucralose sweetened beverage to their kids. And many sports drinks are sweetened in this way, so it's not the only drink sweetened this way, but it's something you should be aware of because it is marketed as naturally sweetened, but it does have an artificial sweetener. Now, both Prime drinks contain electrolytes and B vitamins, and so if you're thinking of having your child drink this, I would make sure you're discussing if these additional electrolytes and B vitamins are appropriate for your child. Talk to their individual physician or their registered dietitian first, because you want to make sure they're not exceeding any upper tolerable limits of these nutrients each day, especially if they're consuming other sports drinks or multivitamins too. So have those conversations to see if it's right for you and your child. So the bottom line, is it worth it to buy Prime drinks? So look, if you are in the market for an energy drink or a sports drink, the Prime line of drinks is pretty much on par with many others in the category. It's low in sugar, the calorie content is low, doesn't have artificial colors, so that does give it a leg up on some of its competitors. But if you're looking for a beverage that is sweetened 100% naturally, I do want you to know that Prime does contain sucralose and it is on the ingredient list. So just be aware of that if that's something that's important to you. Now, sucralose has been deemed generally recognized as safe by the FDA. It's not going to impact blood sugar or insulin levels. So as a registered dietitian, I wouldn't say to avoid it, but it's something that I want you to be aware of because they do market this as naturally sweetened. So you wouldn't automatically assume that there's sucralose in it. So just know what you're consuming. Now, to be honest, the biggest downside to Prime, to me, especially when I'm talking about Prime Hydration, is that there's this high demand and there's shortages. So if you go to buy it, especially if you're buying it online by third parties, the markup, the pricing is crazy. So that's definitely a downside. But look, if you can find it in the store, if you enjoy the taste and you're going for the hydration and you want to use it as a hydration and recovery drink, it can be a good option, especially when we're talking about for kids. If you are looking at it as an energy drink and you are over the age of 18, you're not pregnant, you're not nursing, and you're looking for a low sugar energy drink, it could potentially be beneficial. But again, make sure if you have insulin resistance or diabetes, you're monitoring your blood sugar response to the caffeine. So for me, I let my kids occasionally drink it, but In general, I encourage water above all else. But again, you have to think about why you're using it and if it's right for you and your family. And just remember, biggest thing to keep in mind is Prime Hydration and Prime Energy are two very separate things, so know what you're buying. So if you found this video helpful, make sure to give me a like and let me know in the comments what you thought was most helpful and also what your feelings are on Prime drinks, Prime Hydration, and Prime Energy. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss new tips, tricks, and recipes. And don't forget, if you are serious about managing blood sugar levels and reversing insulin resistance, then join me in my 6-week Blood Sugar Fix program. I'm going to help you lower your blood sugar, increase energy, and achieve your healthiest self in just 6 weeks. All the details are below. So thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.